Hey guys, how are we all doing today? Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at how to maintain your solar scooter. We're going to be looking at how to install this. This is slime, and for those cyclists out there, you'll know exactly what this is. This is basically just a puncture prevention system. So how this works is you squirt it into any tyre and it creates like a lining on the inside, so it just prevents any sort of puncture. So we're going to be showing you how to install that on your solar P1. But this also applies to the solar F1 as well, which uses a similar sort of tyre. And then after that I'm going to be showing you how to install this. This is called LockTight. The way it works is similar to glue. So what you do is you go over any nuts and bolts or anything with a thread with this LockTight, and it basically does what it says it does. It keeps things locked in place for longer. So it's meant to be used on push bikes or motorbikes or anything with wheels basically, and anything that's sort of prone to vibrations and things like that, which of course on these e-scooters it's sort of inherent. So I'm going to be showing you how to install that today and the slime. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So the tools you're going to need for this maintenance session is a regular bike pump, some Allen keys like the ones provided with your solar scooter, some tissue paper just to clean up some excess slime, and also a bench or a piece of wood just to support the scooter off the ground. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take you step by step on how to install this slime. For this demonstration I'm using a P1, but like I said, this does apply to the F1 as well, which does use similar sort of tyres. So what we're going to do first is just remove the dust cap. And the next thing we have to do is let all the air out. So what I suggest is you can get your nail and just sort of press it like this, just to let all the air out. Shouldn't take too long. Just like that. Now the next thing we have to do is remove the valve core, which is this tiny little nib that we just press to release all the air. And the way we get that out is, if you'll notice on the top of the slime bottle there's a little thing that says tool, and that's what we're going to use to remove this. So we'll just take that off, and then if you can just see this, there's like a tiny little end to this that just fits around the core of the valve. And what you want to do is just align that up until it fits into place like this. And then you should just be able to carefully undo it like this. And then you'll feel it become loose, and then you should just be able to very, very carefully pull it out like that. I'm just going to put that to one side. So now that we've let the air out and we've removed the valve core, what we can do is now put the slime into the tyre. So what you want to do is you get your bottle, and on the side you'll see like a little straw looking thing, which we're going to put on the end like this. Just put it on there, make sure it's nice and tight. And now we're ready to put the slime in. So what you want to do, or what I would recommend doing, is just sort of bend the stem over like this, just so it's sort of bent over. And then you can begin to squeeze it in. Just make sure that it is tight over that valve. It's a bit tricky, but there we go. And then when it's all secure, you can just begin filling it up with the slime just by giving it a squeeze. You can see it all going in there with no mess just yet, which is good. Keep squeezing that in, and then we'll just let the bottle breathe a little bit. Let's put a bit more in. Let the bottle breathe again. So you can see we're just about a quarter of the way down the bottle, but we're just going to put a little bit more in because these are fairly chunky tyres. And maybe just one more. Okay, that'll do. So I'd say about halfway or quarter of the way full. We'll just take that off and then just wipe away any excess that you'll have there. So just using some paper towels, you can just remove any excess that might have overflown. And then once that's done, you can reinstall your valve core. And the way you reinstall this is basically just the opposite of how you took it out. So you take your tool, you carefully just slide that over there like that, and then once you've done that, you can just carefully reinsert it, and then with a couple of turns reinstall that back onto the valve, just until it gets a little bit taut, but don't over tighten it. Okay, now that that's done, we can refill this with air. So what you want to do is take a bike pump and put it over that valve, and now we can start filling it up with air. So these tyres are rated to about 40 psi, but I like to put them at about 35 just so there's a bit of play in the tyre. So let's do that. So now that we've filled the tyre up to about 35 psi, we can take this pump off just by doing that. Taking that off like that, you can put the dust cap back on like that. So now that we've refilled the tyre with air, what we need to do is actually start the motor up and spin the wheel, and what this is going to do is distribute that slime evenly all across the tyre. So let's do that now. So we'll power on the scooter and then we'll just get the motor spinning. So here we go. And we'll just hold that for a couple of seconds. And that's it, we've just successfully installed the slime in this wheel, and all you have to do is just do the repeat on the other wheel and you're done. So now that we've successfully installed the slime on our P1, we can now get into installing the LockTight around all the nuts and bolts. So let's do that now. So you can pretty much buy LockTight anywhere. I got this from Amazon for around £6, but you can go into any old bike shop and buy this. So it's super simple to install the LockTight. All you want to do is go over your scooter and remove each bolt individually, or the ones that are becoming loose through vibrations. Simply take them out individually and apply a small amount of LockTight to the thread, and then install the bolt back into the scooter. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. It's super simple. So just apply a very small amount by turning it upside down, and then literally coating it by about that much. And then what you can do is install that back with the Allen key. And that's it, job done. All you need to do is repeat this process along the scooter on every single nut and bolt, or whichever ones are coming loose, and that's it, job done. After you've applied the LockTight to all the nuts and bolts, please wait 24 hours before you go out on your scooter, as this is how long it takes for the LockTight to fully cure. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and see you on the next one. Thanks again.